What up, folks? Welcome to the show, to the talk, to the conversation. My name is CJ Butcher. This is When a Butcher Gets Wild. Nope, that's not right. When a Butcher Gets Creative. Ain't going wild. You ain't seeing these tits. I am doing incline bench though, so I am going to get them shelf tits. So maybe next time. We have some crazy shit to cover. Or stuff. Can you cuss in the first couple minutes on YouTube? I don't remember. All right. Let's get into it. So, good Lord. So what we have, I have a bunch of okay. So the news is coming fast. It's coming redonkulous fast. It's and it's not news. It's the shiny things are flying by us very quickly. So we got most of what I covered in the first 4 episodes of DEI and the Secret Service still hold up. We got some yes and. We have some more to add to it, but everything else seems to be holding true in that. Damn it. I'm getting static in one of my headphones and it. I need 10 people in a row so I could start getting monetized so that I could buy new headphones, new video cameras, new something in the background so it doesn't look like dog shit on the stem, that backlit glare, or I could do it in the morning or at night. But I want to do it right now. Oh, it's still whatever, but money would be better so I could just buy things to hang over that window, and maybe even a green screen so I could be cool. God, I don't even know where to start on this one. I think I'll just go over the news. And okay. So we're going to cover Joe Biden a little bit, because where the fuck is he? He's been gone 6 days. We had a weird letter sent in, unofficial letter, that he dropped out of the race, and that the signature was all messed up and underlined and never doesn't look like any of his other signatures, because he has a lot of signatures. Basically, all his signatures are different, and a lot of the time that he's not consistent in his signatures, but this one's just way off. But the letter was not on official White House stationery. We'll cover that. But just to get it the hell out of the way, because Trump's assassination attempt is the news still. No matter what your news feed looks like, all the distractions, shiny things in your news feed, it's Trump's assassination attempt, the treason of the American government, deep state, to kill a former president and leading presidential contender leading up to the 2024 election. That is the only story. Do not get distracted. Joe Biden's missing. Fine. Who fucking cares? He hasn't did nothing in the last 50 years. Trump's assassination attempt is the only news. Trump's assassination attempt by parts of the U.S. government is the big news, and is until the election. Remember that. Do not get distracted by shiny things. Stay focused on the story. The government, our government, tried to take out a political candidate again. of course, right? Again. And this time we could fight it. Before, when H.W. Herbert Walker did it and all the other ones, they controlled the media. The CIA controlled the media, so we couldn't get to the bottom of things. But now we got an army of info warriors, digital soldiers on this shit. So don't get distracted. Stick to the primary goal of exposing the deep state and their attempts to assassinate Donald Trump. That is the purpose. That is our mission. That said, let us cover Joe Biden's punk ass just a little bit, just to get it out of the way for posterity. Something's going on. He's been missing for 5 days. He sent a weird-ass letter, non-official, non-White House stationary letter of his resignation. He sent a post on X about he resigned. And that's it. No formal addressing the people, not even like a selfie webcam bullshit. Nothing. Just some weird stuff. So, and then he called in, which I'll have the clip of that. I have the alternate video clip of that as well, which we'll see which one do you think is real. Of Joe Biden calling into Kamala's rally or whatever she's doing. And it doesn't sound like him either. He has a mouthful of spit in there, slurring his words up. And then I have another video that shows like how easy it is to make Joe Biden say anything with AI. So we'll move on to that just to get this shit out of the way, get back to the real story. But in my timeline, I got my Truth Social account and my Getter account, which is heavily under attack. Not mine personally, but Truth Social is heavily under attack. Worldwide, the biggest money hedge fund people are severely attacking TMTG, and that is Truth Social, Trump Media and Technology Group, and Truth Social and Rumble are being viciously attacked by the powers that should not be, the satanic pedophile deep state. 8 minutes. We made it 8 minutes before saying that. So that's where we're going to go. But my timelines on Getter and Truth are kind of mismatch right now. So we'll be covering a little bit of the Biden stuff because I reposted some of that. And then we'll be kind of flip-flopping back and forth between Trump shooting and the Biden stuff, which of course they're connected. But one aspect is way more important. Trump's assassination attempt by the CIA, by the deep state, by the evil satanic pedophiles trying to enslave humanity, enslave and kill humanity, is more important than is Biden shitting himself somewhere in a corner? Who knows? Who cares? So, but I'm going to cover them both because they're connected somehow. Two sides. One's a shitty side. One's a freedom side on the same coin. So we're getting sources, unnamed sources coming in. Who we got? We got Chris Dog, and we got Yo 1312 in the chat. That's cool. I generally don't have people in the chat because my channel is so small. It looks like it is spam, but what else? I got people in the chat, which is fun for me. Cool. Welcome, people or bots. Either way, this is AI friendly, diversity of species, I guess. So there is sources, unnamed sources, so many sources. Joe Biden's in hospice. He's done for. They gave him too much of his anti-shit your pants pills, and he stroked out or something. There's lots of reports, a shit ton of reports. So he dropped out a couple of days ago. Today being Tuesday, He dropped out, and we haven't seen him from him since. Oh, this is a good one. There were 0 all-cause mortality deaths, excess deaths due to the pandemic of policies in 2019. It was all due to the interventions and the policies is what caused all the deaths. The things we call vaccines, which are experimental gene therapies. I got to get back to that topic because that's my wheelhouse, is the pandemic of policies in 2019. I'm just covering this shit because it's the most important news in world history. All right. Let's cut this. We got 8 minutes on this. Dang it. We'll come back to that. So I didn't vet that, but it's probably going to be good. So Cheadle, Kimberly Cheadle, the DEI lesbian director of the Secret Service, gave no information in the hearing. The hearing happened as we predicted, as was common sense. She was coached, by the same people that coach Mayorkas, by the same people that the deep state that coaches everybody. Didn't say shit. Word salad, and nothing important happened. She mentioned continuity of government once, but in regards to covering who gets more, a president or an ex-president, and she said something about a president gets more, but considering in continuity of government. But then she got interrupted like 3 times and couldn't finish her sentence. But continuity of government did get mentioned. I think it was going to be qualified it wasn't the big, like John Harold on Badlands Media says, it's not because he's basically one of the main sources on continuity of government devolution at this point. One of the outside sources, not one not one of the inside guys, but he does the digs, and he was saying that's not the big reveal we're looking for, but it's cool, it's notable. So, all right, so yeah, like I said, we're going to be jumping back and forth between Biden's punk ass and the deep state's punk ass when the CIA is trying to take out Trump and the FBI trying to take out Trump. This time it looks like it's the FBI way more than the CIA. So that's interesting. I might jump ahead a little. One aspect, and I only seen this once. So if you're new to my channel, you're new to these talks, we're going to report what we're going to consolidate and kind of coalesce and accrete all the shiny objects, because all the little news bits, because propaganda is so shiny, it feels so good. You're like, I fucking knew that was it, and turns out it's not true, kind of thing. So we're gonna accrete up because we don't know what's true yet. So we're gonna smoosh them all together into one object and then start chipping away at them, and that's why I keep covering in each subsequent episode. This is DEI and the Secret Service 5. We keep covering what we already covered just to see if it's still holding up. See if it's, if it was propaganda, we'll burn it away, get rid of it, and describe why we got rid of it. If not, and it's still, part of the conglomeration of data, we're going to let it stay there if it holds up the searing intensity of truth and time. So that's what we're going to do. So right now, I said so a bunch. Can I zoom in? No, it's done. Enhance. So Crooks parents, the shooter parents, it's reported, are both behavioral scientists. And that's how you get MK Ultra, is through the shrinks. I dated a shrink once. She was beautiful. Fucking crazy. Well, she was a social worker turned shrink, so that's like a double whams. Beautiful as hell, though. Someone who regularly visited Crooks' home and work also visited a building in Washington, D.C. located in Gallery Place. This is the same vicinity of a FBI office on June 26, 2023. So that's a stretch, blah, blah, blah. So this is a lot of stretching, the same vicinity. You know, it was close to a Dunkin' Donuts. That means you ate donuts. I never went in the Dunkin' Donuts. It was in the same vicinity. It doesn't negate it or, validate it, but here we go. And where did he work? What was his job? Did people notice a difference? Did he call into work that day? Did he quit before? So many. Oh, as predicted, we're sticking with this, but as predicted, there's so much happened in the last day that it's just scatterbrained if you can't. I don't know. I'm not able to keep it together, so I'm going to be bouncing around a lot. I'm sorry. So it was confirmed through the Senate hearing of Kimberly Cheadle, the director of the SS, Secret Service, that the radio comms were not recorded. We do not have recordings of the radio comms. There was reports that it was the local police were on multiple channels, uncoordinated, like the channels weren't communicating with each other, and SS was on a different channel, and none of it was recorded, which is what was said in Congress. So they were recorded. They were recorded. They're just not leaked yet. So please, somebody leak those. We need the radio comms of all the channels. That's the big wall we can't get past. We could speculate all day, but see, they could fake the audio. That'll be kind of tough, and you'll need all the witnesses. They'll have to kill a bunch of people that were there, like a bunch of police officers, so they don't whistleblow. So this is dangerous territory. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So they both have their eyes closed at the same time. Weird. So this is the only proof of life we have in 6 days of Joe Biden, with reports going wild that he was rushed to the hospital in Las Vegas, that he's moved to Johns Hopkins, that Kamala moved. She took a plane to Delaware to Joe's house. No fly zone in the whole state because of president and vice president are there. All that's being reported, and we had no proof of life from Joe Biden except for this. This is 4 minutes. Let's try to fast forward it.
Let's listen into President Biden calling into this campaign event.
Keep me out of people's hair for the next 3 or 4 days, but I'm going to be on the road. And I'm not going anywhere. It's kept me away a little bit, but I want people to remember that what we have done has been incredible, and we get so much more we're going to get done. And so I want to say hello to Kamala if she can hear me. I know she's going to be speaking shortly, and I want to say to the team, embrace her. She's the best. I want to call today to thank everybody in this effort. I know yesterday's news was surprising, and it was hard for you to hear. But it was the right thing to do. I know it's hard because you poured your heart and soul into me to help us win this thing, help me get this nomination, help me win the nomination, and then go on to win the presidency. But you're an amazing team. But we've got a great. I think we made the right decision. I know how hard you've worked, how many sacrifices you made, and so many of you uprooted your lives for me. And the kind of commitment few people make for anything these days, but you made it. And I've been honored and humbled. I mean, this is from the bottom of my heart. My word is a Biden, that for all you've done for me and my family. And we built the best campaign in organization in history. I've been doing this. I always kid.
Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Can I put that clip in the live chat if you want to hear it? How come I can't talk in the live chat? Why come? Oh well, what else? Who gives a shit? I think it's AI, but that is the only proof of life we have of Biden, of the president of the United States. The only proof that he's alive is that audio. That's, in my opinion, obviously deep faked. So there you have it right there. This is a minute 49. This is Tucker. Charlie Kirk got a scoop by sources out of Las Vegas Metro that suggests Joe Biden experienced a much more serious medical event in Las Vegas. Something super bad happened on his way to Las Vegas or from Las Vegas while he was there. What happens to Joe Biden in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. So here we go.
This is from Charlie Kirk. I'm reading this cold. I got a weird lead on a story people ought to look into. I got a call from a source close to Las Vegas Metro Police. The official story was that Biden's trip was cut short last week due to COVID. However, according to this source, U.S. Secret Service informed Las Vegas Metro that there was an emergency situation involving Joe Biden and to close necessary streets so that POTUS could be transported immediately to University Medical, which they began to do in earnest. Then mysteriously, there was a stand-down order, and the Secret Service informed local Vegas PD that they were going to medevac POTUS to Johns Hopkins, which they presume meant fly him back east as soon as possible. Apparently, the rumor mill in the police department was that Joe Biden was dying or already dead, possibly. I didn't think too much about this lead. It seemed too wild to be true, but given that Joe Biden has been out of public sight for days and dropped out of the race via an X post, and his brother James indicated health was a factor, I'm beginning to grow more curious if COVID or something else has been more serious than reported. If anyone with Las Vegas Metro has information, please email freedom@charliekirk.com. I want to hear if there's more to the official story than what they're telling us.
Well, I'm sure Las Vegas Metro would be just as open as forthcoming as they were during the during the October shooting.
Yeah,
in
the
2017,
worst mass shooting in American history,
which is never spoken of again.
They tried to drive me out of a camera position while I was doing a story on it. Yeah. Clearly there's something
known for being open and forthcoming.
Yeah. Like the city itself. Clearly something is going on here. Obviously, I don't know what it is. I know its hallmark, which is secrecy. Secrecy is the hallmark of lying. So if you want to know, is someone lying? Well, I don't know. Is he hiding something? Well, then he's lying, right? So they're lying.
So yeah, secrecy is the hallmark of lying, and this is all secrets. There's not any news being coming out. There's only the only proof of life we have of that Biden still exists on this planet is that AI deepfake phone call into Kamala's headquarters, whatever she was doing there. So it wasn't to the American people. It wasn't to anything. It was just to Kamala's headquarters. So since resigning, Biden didn't even resign in person. He didn't even send a letter on a official White House, parchment. His doctor, keeps saying, "No, Biden's super survived and he's doing great. He's awesome. I'll let you know if anything changes." And his doctor sent it on official White House stationery. But Biden did not talk to the cameras, did not do any interviews. Has been missing, MIA, for 6 days. Okay? That's where we're at right now. Biden is missing for 6 days. Oh, my nitric oxide booster's kicking in. You start getting a massive blood flow. You get the pulse. And you just want to go lift cars. Go outside and just start bench pressing cars. Which I can't. So GOP senators reveal Secret Service provided only 3 agents for post standing at Trump event. Well, Jill had 12. So Jill Biden had a last minute rally or something happened, a gathering, last minute, same time as Trump's rally, which is this Trump rally was the only rally CNN live streamed in the last 20 rallies, for years. So all these, that's why I said in the description, we have enough data to know this was obviously an intentional assassination, but it was orchestrated by our own government to kill our chosen candidate for president to lead us. The candidate the people chose is not the candidate the satanic pedophile deep state wants. That's why this happened. And there's enough evidence to show that now, or to come to a reasonable conclusion, but we can't prove it yet because all the evidence is hidden. All the police comms, the radio comms were deleted and non-existent per Kimberly Cheadle, who said, no, we don't have any recordings of that. One of the most prolific assassination in U.S. history since Reagan, and we don't have any recordings of anything. And the person in charge doesn't know anything, hasn't even been to the site to check anything out yet. Kimberly Cheadle, as of yesterday, a week and a half later, has not been to the site. They do not care. They ain't care. So, there's 20, 30, 40 data points that are all pointing in one direction. So it's not a wild jump at all to say it was the FBI. It's up to the FBI to prove us wrong now because we got all the evidence and they say we don't know any. FBI is saying we don't know anything. There's no data. It's all deleted. We don't know what happened. So like I said a couple seconds ago, the main story is the FBI assassination attempt of Donald Trump. That is the main story, the only story leading up to the election. Don't get distracted. Don't let them throw any shiny things like where the fuck is Biden? Who cares? Maybe he's shitting himself somewhere. Doesn't matter. Not my president. Doesn't have anything to do with humans, America, the world. Doesn't have anything to do with anything wherever Biden's at. Not important. But we're going to cover it because that's holy shit in my news feed. So I'm just going to cover it once just to get it out of there, get it out of our faces, and send them back to Delaware with dirty diapers. But yeah, sources are saying he already croaked or is in hospice. Posobiec, Charlie Kirk, and Tucker are covering that as of yesterday. So I haven't had any new information today yet. I just had to cover all this quick to get it locked in, and then I'll move forward. So for the last weeks, ever since the debate and even before, Trump, Biden's like, I am not gonna resign. I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna resign. 14 million people or whatever, 4 million, whoever Democrats chose Biden as their leader, as their candidate. So now the powers that be, the elite rich pedophile class, are taking away all the Democrat voters' choice and just going to go pick their own candidate. So it's not even fun rubbing in how shitty they are. The party, the Democrat Party, named after democracy, who calls about democracy on the ballot and ruining our democracy and all of that, just got rid of democracy in their own class, in their own party. They're not letting the people take a vote of who they're going to choose. So it's just, you can tell who's retarded in America. It's the Democrats. They're screaming about democracy, but yet their leaders just took away their choice to vote for their person they want. It's simple as that. It's too easy to see what's going on. And those who haven't saw it yet are way, way behind the time. It's almost too late to catch the train back to reality. You're probably going to miss it at this point if you don't wake up. You're way on the wrong side of history. Way in 1930s Germany's, the people that have not woke up yet would have been the Auschwitz guards, would have been the Nazis. Like, you're just so far behind reality that you would have been the ones torturing Jews in Nazi Germany. Like, you got to realize that you're not standing up now for reality and morality and ethicality and being ethical. So you wouldn't have back then. You like to think that you're a good guy, good girl, but you're not. You're on the wrong side of history. You are the torturers. You are the Nazis back then. Your life, your decisions are it. If you're not willing to stand up for truth and reality now, you wouldn't have back then. You would have let it slide. I don't know what that smell is. There's a weird smell in our city next to Auschwitz. I don't know what that smell is. It's just been there for a couple months. That would have been you. So I just hope, I got some listeners. Thank you for joining. Love you. I just hope people would wake up by now. You gotta. And I know everybody wakes up on their own time. It takes different events. People were awake long before I was. Steve Bannon and all them. Alex Jones have been fighting this shit for decades. I wasn't awake. I understand that. It takes time. It takes time to crack your mind open. You guys, get your mind cracked open. It's time. In movies where they're trying to escape the cave or whatever, and the bridge is kind of pulling back. The first couple of people could jump easily and make it across, but as the bridge retracts, it gets harder and harder to clear that void. What's the word I want? Big crevasse. The big canyon. It gets harder and harder to clear the divide, and that's where we're at now. It's almost impossible to jump over to the other side of the bridge right now. If you're not awake yet, you're gonna have to find another way around. Like, we can't come we're trying to get you to the good side of history, the right side of history, the ones that stopped the Nazis, the Republicans who went down south and kicked the shit out of the Democrats and freed the slaves, the Republicans, MAGA, American First Patriots, who freed ourselves from British control. We can't make it back to the other side either. We can't make it back to your side when you're unawake. We can't jump that either because we're already over here. So we could try to throw you ropes, but the distance is getting too big. It's too wide. There's only a couple more months, a couple more years that you'll be able to get on the right side of history. The programming, the brainwashing is that intense, is that complete. If you're not awake yet, and like I covered in the first, not in the DEI and the Secret Service series, but in my first couple videos, even us on this side, we could hang close to the edge and fall off. Becoming unbrainwashed is a daily chore. It's a lifestyle. You have to unfuck your mind every moment of the day. Because right now, I'm covering where's Joe Biden. And who gives a shit about that? That's not a story. That's nothing. An illegitimate, unelected pants shitter who's stolen American money and Chinese money and everyone's money to sell out America for the last 50 years. I'm covering right now, spending my life covering him. Where's he at? Who gives a shit? Nobody. It's not important. I'm going to do it right now just to get it over with, just to say I covered it. That's it. Spend a couple minutes on it. But the point is, I'm close to being back to brainwashed again. If I just covered this only, and this is what I'm focusing on, where is he? It's so important. That's falling back asleep. That's not the story. The FBI taking shots at President Trump, the leader of the free world, is the story from now until infinity. Until the deep state is gone, that is the story. The FBI trying to kill Donald Trump. That is the only story from here in perpetuity. With that said, let's cover this story. White House staff finds out via X. His staff didn't know he resigned until they saw a post on X like, wait a minute, Joe resigned? He resigned on Twitter? He resigned with a letter that was not official White House stationery? Where is he? No live press conference. His brother says a health factor is causing this. We haven't saw him in 6 days. 6 days. There's another one about the call. I think this is the one.
Let's listen.
We get so much more we're going to get done. And so I want to say hello to Kamala if she can hear me. I know she's going to be speaking shortly. And I want to say to the team, embrace her. She's the best.
So I got another post coming up. Maybe it's on my Getter, we'll find. But it's just another version of a deep fake. You could make Joe Biden say anything. I mean, we had it years ago. Okay, this is Laura Loomer. She is usually good, but she's doing some shit lately. It looks like that's a boob. It's not a boob. I always get her mixed up with the other one, the blonde. Whoa, that's cool to know you could do. So Laura Loomer currently is taking other people's posts and saying it's breaking news, which not just her, but everybody, which, basically, technically I'm doing. But I'm not saying this is breaking news. I'm just trying to aggregate all the people that have more resources than me, because I can't even get a good camera or a good mic. So there's people that have good cameras and good mics and assistants that are putting out some news. So I want to see what they're saying and, add it to our pile. And if the burning fire of time and exposure burns this shit away, then it wasn't true. But we don't know if it's true or not yet. That said, here we go. So they just did FAA flight restrictions, went up in Wilmington, Delaware. We had there was some people in some other chats that said it's Delaware wide, that the whole state of Delaware is a no-fly zone. Can't confirm that. Somebody in somebody else's chat said it. So that's very much hearsay. And then there was a tornado warning for where Joe Biden and Kamala are in the same house, the same area in Delaware right now. Both of them are out of the White House right now, or as of yesterday. Maybe she's back now, but yesterday, the president and the vice president were both out of the White House, both in the same place. I don't think that ever happened in a house, in a residential house. I don't think that ever happens. So that's very weird. Again, I did some reposts on Where's Biden. That's a trending topic, but we're going to stick to the important topics. Where this geriatric treasonous fuck is not important. So this is probably going to be the only time I'll cover it. I most likely I might mention it. If there's any funny or stupid updates, like shit, Joe's dead. I'll probably mention that in future streams, whatever. But who gives a shit? He has nothing to do with the future of America at all. He has nothing to do with America at all, except for being treasonous to it and harming everybody. He's caused more harm than a lot of people. He sold us out to China, all the bad deals. This is a very rotten person, provably treasonous. So basically, this Napoleon Bonaparte, like, never interfere with an enemy in the process of destroying themselves. Let Kamala do her shit. She is stupid as fuck. Let her go out there and talk in her word salad and just say mumbles all day. We got some clips of her talking. She is retarded. And get Montel Williams back. You know, she was his hoe for a while. So let him do this shit. We're sitting back. We're locked in. President Trump's guarded. The deep state took their shot and missed. The satanic pedophiles are in panic mode now, because that's what the main point is crimes against children will unite the world. There's still people on the left that, like, you can't call them pedophiles because that's too offensive to them. Their left is saying that's a microaggression. You got to call us minor attracted people. That's how sick these fuckers are. That's how sick these fuckers are. Like, Joe Biden will apologize to the shooter of the rape, you know, to the family of the shooter and the rapist of the person, and not the murder victim's family. That's how sick these fuckers are. Michelle Obama has a dick. Melania speaks 5. I thought it was 6 languages.
So the full video and explanation is available on revolver.news. We have the piece up. It's, I think, 3rd or 4th down, and we walk through in great detail. So if people get confused, go there and share it. But essentially, this is surveillance footage of the discovery of the DNC pipe bomb. Again, we can't get into all the crazy stuff about that pipe bomb. People have to go to Revolver News for that. But in this clip, we see someone who we now know to be a plainclothes Capitol police officer go and inform Secret Service detail parked there at the garage. That Secret Service detail is protecting then VP-elect Kamala Harris, who was in the building at the time. Now, upon being informed of this pipe,
so there's a pipe bomb at the DNC where they took Kamala Harris to. They intentionally drove her to this spot where the pipe bomb is located. Can you see what the real plan for J6 was? Kamala's dead. They just got done, the FBI and the CIA just got done trying to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan. Now they had a plan to kill Kamala. Could you see why there's, and so that didn't happen, but could you see the deep state's reaction? They still had the same reaction to it, why it was so overdrawn and people are going to prison for decades and decades for nothing, for walking, when the police removed the barricades and the police invited them in. You know, the violent ones, okay, go to jail. The non-violent ones that were waving American flags that were invited in by police, charge the police. So their plan was to blow up Kamala. And now you can see that their reaction was correct. That all these people were in a plot to blow up the vice president, blah, blah, blah. So now you can see how their overreaction kind of makes more sense. It's still stupid, but it's the same thing they did in the pandemic of policies in 2019. The virus was supposed to kill a lot more people. So then you could see, if it killed 1 out of 10 people in America, and you just see your neighbors are mowing the lawn and they drop dead, and then it's up to you to carry the body to the coroner so that the CDC could come by and scoop them up and put them in the wagon. Then you can see how all their policies start to make sense. But that didn't happen either. So at this point, when Darren Beatty's talking, the Secret Service drove Kamala Harris to the DNC where there's a pipe bomb outside. Specifically drove her there where there's a pipe bomb outside. This is, in my opinion, a murder attempt of Kamala Harris. Because you know that the FBI had, we covered that earlier. So if you don't know about how the FBI facilitated the kidnapping of Gretchen Whitmer, They bought all the supplies. They came up with the plans. They paid the money to rent the training facilities. They did everything. And there was more confidential human informants, CHIs, and FBI agents in the group than there was citizens in the group. They were mostly FBI putting this plan forward to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. And then that field officer was moved to DC, so now he's doing the same thing again. And since we now know Kimberly Cheadle is the head of the SS, she probably had some part in this. So now we have to revisit. I'm actually going to type that in. So yeah, I want to revisit Kimberly. What was Kimberly Cheadle doing this day? What was Kimberly Cheadle doing on January 6th? God, it gets so hot in here. This computer's just blowing hot air up to me, but the circulation's not too good in here. So we already saw that. So yeah, Charlie Cook got a weird lead. Kirk got a weird lead from Las Vegas Metro Police. Basically, there's a couple different sources, or at least one source, at the very, very least, that Joe Biden is in hospice or dead. And Joe Biden's X page is gone. So they're deleting him just like they deleted all of Timothy Matthew Crooks' Discord account and everything. That was all deleted. So they're covering their tracks. What does X22 say? The cover up is what will get you. So them covering up all their nefarious things is how we know there's something there. If they're being secretive, they're lying, like Tucker said. These fuckers are still testing positive for COVID. So really, let's just play into the COVID scenario. It's the flu. COVID-19 is code for the flu. If the news, there would not have been a pandemic at all if the news didn't say there was. If the news never mentioned one, you'd be like, oh, I had the flu and I went back to work. But since the news, which is the CIA, is the news, said there was a pandemic, the sheeptards, the libtards, and everybody triple masking believed it. There was no viral pandemic. There was not one. There was a pandemic of policies in 2019. The policies and the government intervention is what killed 35 million people and counting. The experimental gene therapies are what is killing people right now. People getting the shots and the boosters are what's going to kill you. That is a fact. Listen up. Not medical advice, just fact-based research. I published books on this. I did my master's thesis on this. I'm following all the data. The experimental gene therapies, which are not legally able to be called vaccines because they are not, they turn the victim into a bioweapon factory, basically. Your cells stop producing more of you, which regenerates you, which is how you become healthy, because your cells regenerate. It hijacks your cells to make the spike protein, which is a bioweapon, a gain-of-function bioweapon. So you're not creating more of your cells anymore to replace your dying ones. You're creating more of this bioweapon to shed it into the environment. They are killing us. They hate us. Wake up. Jump across the bridge. Wake up. your life depends on it. Humanity depends on you being smart and waking up. So people are jumping in. I know Lauren Boebert is a little bombastic, whatevs. But she demands the proof of life. I mean, that was yesterday, last night. That was day 5. Where's Biden day 5? Don't know. This is day 6. Don't know. Actually, when I get to the bottom of this, we're going to go over to the getter. But before okay, we're getting to the end. They're squeezing DJT way down, the stock way down. So it held. It needed to be below 34.72, and it closed off at 34.70. So completely manipulated, which is even more sad because the short for today is 31.31 or tomorrow. So they're going to squeeze it down to 31.31 tomorrow to cover their shorts. And I know a little bit about stocks, but I just don't know how they could manipulate the market this bad. I'm like, are they just printing out fake numbers? Because you see, right before close, like a couple seconds before close, this jumped up to like I think 35 or 34.90 something. It jumped up, but then it jumped way back down to 34.70. Like, I think it's as easy as they're just typing in a different number. What number do you want? And they type that number in and make it float up and down until closing bell and it's below. Because that's not natural. This stock has nothing but good news coming out, nothing but great things. And, with the Austin, I forgot their name. So Alex Jones jumps in. I'll go to that later, but it's not fair, man. The deep state is so evil, so evil. They will hurt all of us to make a couple bucks. Just know that. They already did that in 2019. They killed 35 million people just to make a couple bucks and counting. And that's not people in the third world, which they killed by the hundreds of millions, which, and I don't want to go into it too deep, but in the first world, if you're out of your cereal because the truck didn't show up because of COVID policies, in the third world, whole villages die because you shut down the supply chains for weeks. People were dying of starvation in the third world due to COVID policies. By the hundreds of millions. Just to make some money. Just to make money, folks. These people hate you and they want you off their planet. We need to wake up. We need to fight them. So Biden was refusing to drop out for the last couple of weeks since the debate and before, not dropping out. All of a sudden he goes missing and he gets this weird letter, basically, a suicide note with a signature that's not his, doesn't appear to be his. It's totally different. It's underlined. It's not even close to his. And he's missing. And so this is a double coup. Basically almost a triple. They tried to take Trump out, which was a coup, and they already took when MAGA won 2020, we won the 2020 election by votes of the American people who wanted Trump in, we won. But the deep state concocted weird ass shit, which they are caught. They are caught. All the proof is there. All the evidence is there. Proof is when you take it to court. All the evidence is there. Hundreds and hundreds of pages, hundreds of thousands of pages of documents, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of affidavits people signed saying, we saw cheating. Here's the cheating we saw. They signed affidavit of punishment of perjury, of prison time. They said, yes, we saw cheating. Tens of thousands of affidavits all over the country, mostly the swing states, of course. So Trump won 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. 2020. And now Biden's missing for 6 days. Like I mentioned earlier, that's not an important story. It's just, I'm going to cover it this time and move on to the important story of the FBI trying to kill the leader of the free world. Don't get lost in the shiny Israel-Palestine war, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine. None of it is our business. That's if Europe doesn't give a shit, if Europe ain't care, why are we over here caring? We're not caring. Are you a Karen? I'm not a Karen. FBI immediately sanitizes the shooter, the crime scene. Yeah. So this was in the morning yesterday. I was telling my mom, I was like, I think today, which was Monday, it's going to close below 34.72. Today, which is Tuesday, 31.31, and then Wednesday, 26. So they're going to have to crash it. And Nunes knows this, man. He knows they're crashing it and they're taking all of our money. Like, he absolutely knows that they're taking our money and we're pissed off about it. And at this point, he's letting it happen. And we're getting fed up and getting pissed, which is what the deep state wants, of course. But God, it's hurting. I just see that negative sign every time I check my stocks, how much money I lost. I'm not selling. I'm going to have to sell soon unless I find a job, but I'm going to have to sell like right now, if I sell every 3 shares I sell, I'll lose $100. And I need to sell 20 shares. So that's like, to pay my mortgage, I'm going to lose $1,000. It sucks. This fucking deep state is killing us. Fucking sucks. Yeah. All right. Now let me see if there's any fun news happening. So this is what the SS Secret Service looks like in Deutschland, in Germany, or Dutch. In ours, we got fat, sloppy shit, short-ass lesbians. Oh, yeah, that's what we mentioned earlier, actually. One of the victims, which they all got acquitted because the FBI entrapped them, and the FBI set up the Governor Whitmer kidnapping. The FBI set up everything. They drove people. They paid for everything. They wrote the script. The FBI did everything in the Governor Whitmer kidnapping attempt. And then that FBI agent, that field agent who ran the Governor Whitmer kidnapping for the FBI, he was moved to D.C. and he ran January 6th, which they attempted to kill Kamala with a pipe bomb. This FBI is out of control. It will kill anybody. Does not matter. For money, just to keep themselves in power, to stop you from being free. This FBI needs to go. We don't need this FBI. That's why they killed Kennedy. He wanted to stop it, shatter it into 1,000 pieces and spread it to the wind. That's why they took him out. It's real easy. Ha, that's good. But the government won't stop doing crazy stuff. So this government is against us. This government is actively attacking us, killing our political choices, killing us through the CDC, the NIH, NIAID, the WHO, actively killing us off of their planet. You gotta wake up. You gotta. It's time. So there's no real news about Joe today yet. This is one day ago. Let's get something kind of... That's me, so that's pretty new. Five minutes ago. Stupid ass. I've never been able to like Snoop Dogg, man. Something about him is just creepy to me. I mean, maybe because he's creepy, but I did like a couple of his songs, just not him as a person, man. Something's up. But I don't like most people, so something's up with me, probably. I don't think humans were a good idea. But we're here, so let's make the best of it. So yeah, there's choices coming out that Kamala will not be the nominee. So nothing's happening today. Okay, yeah, see? Everyone switched over to Kamala. No one's talking about the Trump assassination by the FBI anymore. Well, here's one person. Let's give them a hort. Kamala Harris. Everyone switched over to Kamala. This is old news, but this is good. Oh. That's an update. Ooh, that's good. So Joe Biden had, as his time as senator, had all the top secret documents in his garage, in places in Chinatown and buildings everywhere. Top secret documents everywhere. And he was giving them to his the ghostwriter of his book. That the ghostwriter in on top secret documents. That's true. If you're a Democrat, if you're still a Democrat right now, you're a communist. That's it. If you're still proudly a Democrat, even a liberal, anything like that, on the left, you're asleep. That sucks to say. MAGA is more center than anybody on the left. Anybody on the left is so far off the charts that you can't even see center because of how far left these people are. So if you still claim you're a Democrat, you're a communist. You would have been one working at Auschwitz in the 1940s. You gotta wake up. You just gotta wake up. So yeah, look at all these posts. It's all, oh God, one that I didn't cover yet. Let's jump over here. It's going to be a lot of the same stuff, but let's just cover it again real quick. Yeah. So someone was going from Crooks' home back to a DC building near an FBI office. So whatever. I don't know where Crook lived, where he worked. I don't know. We don't know anything about that. But Trump said he's going to release everything about the shooting, and hopefully everything about MLK, JFK, everybody. We need it. We need this deep state gone. They are killing humanity. They are actively and purposefully killing humanity. Not just humans. They've been killing humans forever, but now they're trying to kill humanity. So yeah, the doctor's letter, I know you can't see it. It's not really that important, but that's official. It has a stamp, everything. This is Biden's, let's get it on it. This is Biden's signature, which is not his signature. Arbides. Who's Arbides? Not his signature. Not. This is obviously forged. But what I think there's an aspect, what I had a strategy going. They can only get the money, Biden's donation money, if it's the 25th Amendment or he dies. So if he resigns, they can't get the money. So I have no proof that this is what's happened, but I think, this resignation letter is faked. And then somebody hacked into his, Joe Biden's X account, right? Joe Biden's. Who's Arbides? And it's underlined. And his is a straight line. This one's going up. Who's Arbides? And he doesn't do the thing back there. I don't see it. It's not similar. Yeah. So Kamala Harris is on her way to Delaware. This was 17 hours ago, so last night, to address Biden's campaign staffers following the coup that forced Biden out of the presidential race. So Kamala is leaving Washington to go to Delaware last night to talk to Biden's staffers in Biden's house in Delaware. What the fuck is that? There's nothing real about that. Now, did you hear the difference in the shooters? It was pop, pop, pop. Then a pause, and then pop, 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 pop. Not that many, but 5. So it's turning out. Remember in DEI in the Secret Service was part 1 or 2. I said maybe 3. I said that last shot, because I think there was 9. So it was pop, 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 pause, pop, 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 pause, pop. So 3 separate shooters, and we got audio analyzation of this. I don't know if I have that up yet. I'll definitely post that. There's at least 3 different shooters. We're thinking, which I called out, I nailed it right, that the last one was the Secret Service killing the shooter, the witness, getting rid of the patsy. But we have the evidence of somebody on the tower. I think that was the other one. But there's also more evidence that snipers, counter snipers, supposedly Secret Service, were on the second floor inside the building shooting out a window that had a clear view to Trump and clear view to Crooks. They could see the whole thing. They could see Crooks up to an hour before saw him. I'm going to let this ride. Let's play it again. To hear the echoes, very different. The first three didn't echo off the buildings. The other three echoed off the buildings with a delay. The first one was like, this one was. So the different sound of the bullet, it was a bigger bullet from farther away, sounds like, and the echo, which means distance as well. Sorry, I got a text about a job. It's not a good job. It's cleaning out damn apartments, getting them ready for students to come in the fall. That's bullshit money, but I'm making zero money now. What if I say yes? I'm going to say yes. And then if I get another better job, I'll cancel. It's only for 2 weeks, but that'll give me rent money for a month, mortgage for a month. Hopefully the demonic pedophiles will stop their games by then, or they'll be taken out by then. They dropped him. That last shot dropped him.
What a fucking sick world.
Dude, that's exactly why we need fucking Trump here.
Oh, there's the cop. What happened? Did something
Secret
happen?
Service don't fuck around, man.
I'm on my break, but I guess I'll walk over here.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And we have no audio recordings of the comms, of the radio comms. Nobody on the radio, or no recording on the radio. Rumors are, or reports are, rumors, whatever. To Secret Service, DEI is the highest priority. You have to hire more women. And if you're a white man, forget about it. And this is just for posterity. When you see these fuckers coming up your block, shoot for the belly if you can, or shoot for the head. The eyes are right here. The actuators, that'll make them limp. That's important. Just keep this in mind. This is good. Tulsi Gabbard destroyed Kamala.
Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way. When you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Damn. That's when Kamala's approval rating dropped to single digits. Tulsi slammed her. And you remember on stage with one of the debates, CNN cropped the camera in because Tulsi was on the edge, and CNN cropped the camera in to not have Tulsi on the stage. I hope you remember that. They tried to delete Tulsi so quick because she is so popular. Here's 911 footage.
Pentagon, CNN's military affairs correspondent, Jamie McIntyre. And Jamie, you got very close to where that plane went down.
That's right, Judy. A while ago, I walked right up to next to the building. Firefighters were still trying to put out the blaze. The fire, by the way, is still burning in some parts of the Pentagon. And I took a look at the huge gaping hole that's in this sideway, but from my close-up inspection, there's no evidence of a plane having crashed anywhere near the Pentagon. The only site is the actual side of the building that's crashed in, and as I said, the only pieces left that you can see are small enough that you could pick up in your hand. There are no large tail sections, wing sections, a fuselage, nothing like that anywhere around.
Sorry, I'm setting up an interview for this job tomorrow. It's manual labor cleaning out apartments, to get ready for students for shit money. But it's more than I got right now. I got some cool leads. Actually, I got to call that other place back. I got a badass lead. To apply, you got to send it to an HR email. So I've been calling them trying to get that verification that I actually sent it to the right email, and I can't get a hold of them ever. And it's a legit company. It's a big company. So in 2016, Kamala was Indian. In 2020, she was black. She is magical like that. But it's nobody's given any answers yet, so it's probably like dead in the water. But her parents were on work visas, so they weren't citizens. And she was born here, so she's an anchor baby. So I'm not sure if anchor babies can become president, but nobody spoke to that yet. We'll see. This is troubling. JD Vance has a lot of deep state ties, some really bad ties, but we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, there was no plane wreckage outside of the Pentagon. They aired it once, and then they never aired it again. But the Pentagon had zero debris, airplane debris outside of it. So there's a guy in a gray suit. See, I definitely posted the guy in the gray suit. Is that him? There's better pictures of him climbing out of a vehicle. But the guy in the gray suit. So pictures of the shooters were sent to the ATF. That's illegal. So there is a couple reports of, and this is wild, so just bear with me. It's a report, so I'm just going to report it. Just to, God, I hate that. Just to, it starts and then stops. There's probably electromagnetic waves coming through. I need new headphones. Well, I might have a job now. That the shooter from the towers zip-lined, and this sounds like bullshit, so probably is. Let's just keep it. Zip-lined out of there to the street, away from the building, from the area. Got in an SUV, and that SUV was from the Department of Agriculture. So there, I said it. Probably won't hold up. Probably not true. Could be true. We'll see. Here's your DEI. In every movie, the white man's the bad guy. The black man is the hero. The gay guy is the voice of reason. The woman has the balls. She's the bravest one that could do all the things and beat up every guy. Dad's an idiot because you got to destroy the nuclear family. Remember, that's what BLM's main mission statement was, the destruction of the nuclear family. You have to get dads out of the homes because otherwise, if you leave dads in the home and you have mom, dad, kids, you have a strong nuclear family with well-adjusted children. And BLM's recruitment would go down if the children are well-adjusted. Mom's the breadwinner. She's a badass. I'm a career bitch. And the children are sexualized. That's your movies. That's the movies you are watching. And you are being programmed. Very high pollen today. God damn it. Well, my allergies aren't bothering me today, but my headphones are. Always a thing when you're poor. All right, this is a lot. This is Gateway Pundit. I usually don't like clicking on their shit because they have so many ads. But we made it. We made it to the actual... Damn it. They're calling it a 10-foot ladder. They don't sell 10-foot ladders, so it has to be a 12. I thought it was even higher than that. Okay, this is good. This is actually really good. So the water tower is up north, way above this picture, like about 4 inches. Maybe they do sell 10-foot ladders, and I don't know. But what I have is a guy was standing right here. What is this? Pictures of Crooks waiting on the retaining wall. Okay. So I had a guy. Yeah, see this picture? You probably can't. But there's a dude standing here. Let's say he's 5 foot tall. 5, 10, 15, 16 to 18 foot wall here. So this is, looks like it's a downhill slope. So let's say 10 to 12 foot here. Okay, that could be a 10-foot ladder. I didn't think they sold 10-foot ladders. I thought it was 8, 12, 14, 6. Whatever. Okay, fine. 10-foot ladder. Let's let that one roll. So this is where he was, and this is where he was found. So that's totally fine. Maybe he shot and left, but I don't think so. God damn it, that's so annoying. I'm going to have to buy some today. These ones are nice, though. It's just that static keeps happening. Okay, so what did I want to talk about? Oh, yeah. So second floor, inside, because there's reports as well that the snipers were up here, but it got too hot. It just got too hot, and we had to leave. We're so fucking DEI. So it got too hot for them, and they had to leave. And it's too slopey for them, so they felt like they were in severe danger that they left and went inside. So this building is owned by BlackRock in part, and there was a lot of police officers inside the building hanging out. There's snipers here. I got a video somewhere. I think it was right here, or maybe right here. Either one of the two where you have, because the rally's over this way. You have a clear view of the rally from here and here. So there could have been a person positioned there with a better vantage point than this one. And the water tower up here had an even better vantage point than this one. So, and you heard the echo from the second group of shots was from farther away, because sound travels slow. So yeah, this is the new bit of info right here. We'll see him. He's just walking around. He was walking around and looking up at the roof for like an hour before and made contact with cops 3 times. So that's where the ladder is. There, let's go with 10 foot. So he had to come around here, climb up here, shimmy, 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 get shot here, and end up over here. And there was snipers here and here, or there's supposedly snipers there. And we just saw the video of everybody pointing and cops not doing anything. And there was reports of a 26-hour stand down, 26-minute stand down. And this is courtesy of the Gateway Pundit, so I want to give them credit for this. 26-minute stand down. There was reports of the police officers being ordered to take a break. So a lot of the police officers, which the local police told in a statement that they were not in charge of sniping, not in charge of security, in charge of the perimeter and traffic only. And they were ordered to take a break. So they were at McDonald's when the shooting happened. There's reports that there were the cops that were left, there's reports that they were on at least 2, but multiple different radio frequencies, non-coordinated. And the SS was on, Secret Service was on another radio frequency. And Kimberly Cheeto reported to Congress that we don't have any of the recordings. It was not recorded. None of this was recorded. Because as I said since the beginning, DEI and the Secret Service Part 1, the audio recordings are key. We have to have those. They need to be leaked. Please, somebody leak them. They are clutch. They are key to everything. All these videos we have, they're all little pieces of the puzzle. The audio recording of the police comms, that's super glue. That locks the pieces in forever. So we need, and that gives a time frame. So we could build, if we have the audio of the police radios, that builds the time frame, locks it in, so that we can put all these pieces together on the time frame. Which pretty much we already do have. We just need it validated and locked in. This is completely crazy balls. But yeah, I'll leave it there. I'll just, with an outro, don't get sucked into the propaganda, the exquisitely refined psychological warfare. Do not fall into it. Where Joe Biden is right now, who gives a shit? Don't give a shit where that loser's at. He has nothing to do with America. Nothing. He was never president, not the president, not elected, has no bearing on the future of America. Just, he doesn't matter at all. 0% important, that old shitty fucker. Don't follow that story. Or follow it if you want, but shiny things are fun. Propaganda is exciting, but that's not the story. The story from here on out, forever until the election, until the deep state is gone, is why the fuck did the FBI try to kill President Trump, and how did they get away with it so far? That's the story. Stick to that. That is where we're at. Don't look to the left or the right. Don't get pulled off into the abyss. Don't go back with the Democrats and just close your eyes and lay back. The FBI tried to kill Trump somehow. The CIA, somebody, one of the alphabet soups worked together in creepy lockstep, which is fascism, to kill the leader of the free world. That's our only story. That's what's important. Keep your eye on the prize. There will be so much exciting, flashy stories, probably like Kamala nude pics, ridiculous things to get us off this topic. Hillary comes back, and now we got to talk about her all the time. Michelle Obama's penis pictures, whatever. This is the story. This is our focus. The deep state, our own American government tried to kill Donald Trump. That's the story from now until election. Nothing else. Nuclear bomb, tactical nuclear bombs, a meteor strike, aliens come. Aliens do a nuclear strike on Michelle Obama's penis. Who gives a shit? None of that is important. That was kind of funny. I wish that was the title. Aliens come down and do meteor strike on Michelle Obama's dick. News at 11. That's funny. But yeah, none of that's important. The deep state, our own American government tried to kill the leader of the free world. That's important. And sure, I'll give updates for, where's Waldo? Where's this pants shitting retard at? I'll give updates, whatever. But as far as covering it moment to moment, breaking news access, not so much. Not important. Has no bearing on on America. Has no bearing on anything to do with American policy. Not the president. Wasn't elected. Biden was never elected president. Has never been president ever. Not president currently. Devolution, continuity of government is active right now. Trump devolved his power to the military constitutionally through continuity of government. If you don't know anything about that, John Harold from Badlands Media did a whole devolution series, which I very highly recommend. It'll get you caught up. But yeah, John Harold devolution series. I think there's audio readings of it now. Patrick Gunnels reads through John's articles. There's like 23, 24 articles, but he goes through everything. He lays it all in line. Doesn't mean it's like fact that we know exactly what's going on, but he goes through the documents. He goes through the timeline of what happened and who said what and when. And he's putting the pieces together. He's putting them together. And I think he did a very good job. So shout out to him for sure. And if you haven't heard of John Harold and Badlands Media, I recommend you give them a try, a listen on Rumble. They are one of the best out there. Media networks. They are great. Actually, somebody from the Gateway Pundit, CanCon, is a part of Badlands Media as well. So that's where we're going to leave it. We have so much information that they can't hide it. The only way they could hide it is delete it, and we'll still find it. And if we throw another layer on this with Space Force, monitoring the comms? Actually, I'm going to post that. Always throw your DEI hashtag in there. It's not there. Huh. Secret Service. That's important. Was Space Force monitoring the comms? Ooh, I got a couple new followers. All right, I'm doing a thing. I'm doing the thing online with my strem. Oh, did I put space between there? I could edit this here. No, I didn't. You just made it look like a discard post. No. Post it again. You already posted that. Close. Discard post. No. Post. You already posted that. Wow, that's an error. That's an error in programming. I don't like that space, man. Whatever. Okay, it works. Was Space Force monitoring? And guys, I see I got a couple people in the watching the video. Thank you so much for joining. I'm very happy. Sorry about my low quality. I explained it a couple times. I'm poor. I'm unemployed. I just applied for a job interview. I'm gonna have to sell my DJT stock soon. So I would like to get new radio or new video, new microphone, new everything. Get a backdrop set up fine, something to cover that window. I just can't right now. So I really apologize about that. But if I got 8 people totally watching now, or totally watching. I got 8 total viewers right now. If I could get that up to 10, I could start monetizing. And that's when I can make a couple bucks on this and get some new equipment, and maybe pay my mortgage, maybe hold on to my DJT. That's my big goal. I don't want to sell right now because it's going to be worth so much in the next couple months. And it's just timing, man. I already cashed in all my 401ks. The 2019 pandemic of policies destroyed my career. 2 careers, actually. I had a career and then a part-time job with the VA. And that was a badass job. That got destroyed too because I couldn't walk upstairs because I was vaccine injured. And yes, I did take the vaccine. It was to try to keep my job, and I still lost it because I wasn't totally awake yet. So I took it, and I still lost my job because I got vaccine injured and ended up on my couch for a year. Wasn't able to get off my couch, and basically kidney failure. Almost. I was getting tested, for my kidneys failing. Ooh, she looks cute. So, but that being vaccine injured is what led me into doing my master's thesis on the pandemic of policies. And I found out some shit. And this is actually, all of a sudden, that's a picture of the cover of my book. All of a sudden, the origins of the pandemic of COVID-19 policy. There was no viral pandemic. It was the flu and the mainstream media propaganda which caused the pandemic. There was no viral pandemic. And that's provable now. It was provable back then, but it's provable now. Oh my God, 9. If I could get one more person, 10 consecutive viewers. Oh, somebody left. 2 more people. I could monetize and pay my bills. I'll pay my bills. I'll be able to pay my bills. I'll just have to fucking sell all my stock and probably sell my motorcycle. Shit's retarded right now. These deep state players are killing us. But yep, that's it, folks. Well, we got up to 8. That's really cool. Thanks you guys for watching. I really appreciate 8. That might be my all-time high, which is good for me right now. Thank you so much. I started this a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. So I'm still new at this. I have low quality shit. If I was cruising Rumble, I would understand, like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Get a better camera, dumb nuts. They're cheap. So I totally understand. Thank you so much for sticking around. I very much appreciate it. I hope you're digging this news. Well, it's not actually news. I'm just aggregating news together to try to see what see what reigns true the longest. And right now, it seems like, just a quick recap before we bounce. It seems like there's 3 separate shooters with the audio analyzation, which I didn't get up here, and I'll have to get that up later. Or somebody could share it in the chat. That'd be cool. There's 3 different shooter locations via the sound recordings. 3 different guns, 3 different gun types, 3 different burst patterns, 3 different locations of the shooters. And oh, that was good. I could block it for you. Okay, I'll just do this the whole time. Is that better? That's better. Don't want to. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, man. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, streamers. So there was 3 shooters, it seems, through the audio recordings. There was supposedly snipers in the second floor building behind where Crooks was, and behind and above where he was. So they saw him the whole time, an hour before, 2 hours before. So with the amount of info warriors, with these digital soldiers, which each one of us are, it keeps fluctuating between 9 and 8. That's fine. If I get up to 10, it'll change my lives. My lives, if I could get up to 10. But I'm getting close, so that's progression. So, yeah, we have probably somebody on the water tower. We had that weird shadow. There's reports of him ziplining away, which take that with a grain of salt. But then the person said when he zipped away, he got into an SUV and the plates were from the Department of Agriculture. But that's just one report, so chances are that's going to kind of, get burned away in the truth fire over the next couple days, couple weeks, couple months, couple years. We don't know. But there was a stand down order. Just so much retardation happening. Let's stay tuned, folks. I'll do another show tomorrow morning, and I probably won't cover, even if Joe Biden's already dead, man, I probably won't cover it that much because, who gives a shit about that guy? He was never president. He was not elected. Trump won in 2020, so Biden was never president, not important. He has no bearing on the United States of America, just a criminal. So he's not really that important. So I'm going to stick to the true story, which is the FBI's attempted assassination of Donald Trump. And was the Secret Service in on it? It's looking like either they're really retarded, which I don't think so, or they were in on it, which maybe. Stay tuned to find out. Once again, thanks so much, you guys, for stopping in. And we love you. And we'll see you tomorrow morning about the same time. I'll gather some more info. Hopefully we get some updates. And I love you, folks. See you next time.